Sell the hole, not the drill. So what is the problem you want to figure out? What is the problem? I don't have enough customers, or nobody's coming in the door.
Thank you for joining the Free Time Mastermind podcast, brought to you by the Free Time Mastermind Group. I'm your host, Robert Gaines. Ted Gaunt, founder of Easy Business Technologies, will share his story and what he's learned to help grow your company. Ted uses software like Go High Level to help entrepreneurs put new customer acquisition on autopilot. Thank you for joining us, Ted. Where are you calling in from?
Well, I'm right here in the Midwest in Altoona, Iowa.
Altoona, Iowa. Now, what part of the state is that in? North,
It's
south?
right in the center. It's right by Des Moines. It's a little suburb right outside of Des Moines. So, right, part of the metro.
And we had a great talk about the correlation between entrepreneurs and the connection to other family members that are entrepreneurs. So most people I run into and talk to, if they had a hunger to own their own business, they usually have somebody kind of upstream in their family that's also a business owner. It's not necessarily genetic, but it does seem to flow through familiar lines. Can you you have
Sure.
a connection like that?
Yeah, and when we talked about that, I didn't even realize that. And so my dad and my uncle and my brother were all actually farmers together. Went through the farm crisis and all that stuff, but it was definitely a farmer and then a sales guy for like chemicals and feed and stuff. And so I think I got some of that, enjoying to talk to people from him, but maybe not knowing the sales process really well. But my brother still is a pig farmer, but also hauls pigs and stuff for people with that entrepreneurial spirit, runs his own business. And so I think, yeah, as you just mentioned, I didn't even realize that that entrepreneurial fire has been in me since I was a kid. So definitely.
So how did that journey start for you? What was the very first business you got involved with? And it could be, we could start at high school, wherever where you first planted your flag.
I was a wage earner in high school. I never actually had a job like making hamburgers, but it was weeding the garden for the neighbor lady. And so it was, I did not like that, but I just wasn't a garden person. But let's fast forward a little bit. College, I was going to be an engineer. I was going to design everything. But, I was the electrical engineer. I was going to do that. I did not like that. I wanted to play with stuff. So I went down toward into broadcasting and I got my college degree from there with an emphasis on videography. So the first business I would say that I really officially started was being a wedding videographer. So I did that for 23 years. And so that was, I did weddings all over Iowa, I would say. I was trying to figure out, but I figured I'd probably been close to 150, 175 weddings over the years as the videographer guy. I was the video guy, so that was that was a lot of fun, and I just kind of got out of that. It was long days. You were sore for 2 or 3 days after shooting and stuff. So that's where it started.
When the barrier to entry, so let's talk from a technical perspective. When the barrier to entry is low in the business, so you only need a few cheap pieces of equipment.
Yep.
Now, you being in an extremely competitive field of videography, what kept you going all those years? What set you apart from those other people?
Let's set the time frame as to when it was. So would have been about 1992, 93 when I started. It was actually the first was shooting with a VHS camera
That's right.
and handing them a tape at the end of the day.
I love it.
That was here you go. Fast forward up to got into the editing online with inline editors, the Final Cut Pro and the Adobe Premiere. We went all the way out to that, and so as you're right, as the barrier more and more people were getting into is like, hey, you could buy a camera for $200 and go shoot a wedding, and that, and then plus I was just getting tired after 23 years of doing it.
Sure.
But the competition was really ramping up, and I haven't really thought about that because that was quite a few years ago. I see it once in a while. I know I can edit video for any things I need. I just don't like doing it anymore as much. It's like really a big task. And so, that barrier has really come down. We used to have to buy the full big cameras. I'd do 3 camera shoots sometimes if people would do them and then edit them all together at the end. And so yeah, there was quite an expense sometimes buying new batteries and keeping the equipment running and make sure you had enough tapes. And I still have nightmares once in a while that I didn't bring a tape to a wedding or I left my camera at home. Honestly, I do. It's crazy.
Yes, yes. When you started Easy Biz Tech, or Easy Business Technology,
It's easy business technologies, but easy biz tech is the easy way to say it.
and that wasn't so you did a pivot there. So
Yeah.
which is very typical. What you started wasn't what you ended up with. Can you walk us through that?
How far back do you want to go on the pivots? Remember we talked about, hey, I've had a lot of pivots, but let's talk about this one.
Sure, yeah.
So, kind of always had that entrepreneurial flair. And so it was about a year ago, this past July, that I'm like, you know what? I've kind of had a break for a little bit. I think I want to do something again. So, researched it. Oh, I think I want to do this. I want to do that. And then I thought AI is the big thing, right? Oh, this is going to be huge. I'm going to be the AI expert. I'm going to know it all. I'm going to figure it out and do it. And the more I got into it, I'm like, oh, you need a chat bot. You need to do this and you need to do that. And then when I realized that it it's been like the biggest boom in technology, of all time almost. I'm not going to quote that and say that, but AI is everywhere and it's just exploded. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to be the guy that can start a software company and I'm going to be able to beat Amazon, Microsoft, Google. I'm just not. They're going to absorb it and then you're just going to be left with nothing. So pivot, pivot to easy business technologies. Let me have AI as a tool and help businesses with it. It doesn't mean we always use AI, but it's you know I wanted something easy. Being a small business owner, wanted to help them, and then we can use AI if we need to. And so that was the pivot to let's not be AI only, but let's utilize it as a tool if we need to.
And you mentioned on your site about reviews, which I thought that was
Yeah,
really good. So
yeah,
I wanted to help people get a tip from you right now in how some of that works. So the technology that you have is leveraging these reviews to bring in more business. Can you walk us through the advantage of that, of how you can use reviews as
sure.
lead generation?
Well, the first thing if we want to talk about is reputation. So, what is your business, your entrepreneurial thing? What's your reputation out there? Do people know, like, and trust you? And where does most of that come from? Usually, it comes from reviews. We were looking at an Airbnb last night, and we're like, "Oh, what are the reviews?" We go right to that. You buy something on Amazon, you go right to reviews. And I'm not sure that every small business owner focuses on that. They might. There are some that have a lot, but that's going to help you in your Google rankings is your reviews. And so, are you getting reviews like after an appointment? Do you get that? Does that review go out either automatically or do you have somebody that's doing it? Maybe not well, depending on who you've got doing that. And are you responding to them? And then are you posting them on your website and or social media? And so those are the ways to you've got to get the reviews, you've got to ask for the reviews, and then over time that's going to raise your ranking up. That's not the only factor, but that's going to raise your ranking up on your Google listing. And we can go
And
into SEO and all that stuff. That's a whole other thing. Search engine optimization is SEO, right? For
that's right. And of
yeah,
course, the reviews are part of social proof, proving
exactly.
that
That's what
you're.
it is. Do they know who you are? Maybe not. Maybe a friend recommended them. Do they trust you? Well, 100 other people do. Yeah,
That's right. Because your business is like a person on the corner going, "Hey, give me $300," and it's like, "I don't know you, man," and the reviews
exactly.
get them over that. So I would say and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say
You're fine.
in the tier of how to get clients, like good clients, first a personal referral. That's the most powerful
Yep, because you've
of
already
them
got
all.
that connection.
Yeah. And I'm
Yeah,
not a big, I've really backed away from watching movies and shows and things like that. I watched that. It's actually a fake video, but the person is fake. It says it's a Russian mobster, but it's actually an actor. I found out later. But he was talking about the people that do very well versus the people that don't do very well. depends on whether a person is a consumer or a producer. He goes, if you're constantly producing something, could be a product like the business that your brother does. He's providing something that's extremely necessary to the economy. I mean, it's a matter of food is a matter of survival. That's why it's so important.
Yeah.
And so he's a producer, so he's making money. Whereas the person that's, doom scrolling on their phone all the time, they wake up and they go right to Facebook and they spend all of this time and they get caught up in the 15 most current Amazon series. They're consumers.
Yes.
So they end up having a lot less money. And so I try to think in terms of that now where
Yeah.
I'm more conscious. But even though the point of all this is, even though I've really drawn down my consumption of entertainment, I would say, because I'm still bringing in a lot of information, but the
Oh, yeah.
entertainment part, I've pushed that way down. But I did see a movie I liked a lot. It was actually recommended on a Facebook group that I like a lot. They mentioned it, and I went, oh, maybe I should check it out. And I really liked it. It's called Rebel Ridge. I think it was a one-off show, not a series. I don't know if it was HBO or what, but I
Rebel
really
Ridge.
enjoyed it. And who did it? Did you know?
No, I said Rebel Ridge. Is that what it was?
Rebel
Yeah.
Ridge. It was
Okay.
really good. It was really good.
I'll have to
And
watch that.
as soon as I watched it, I made 3 messages to people. You need to see this, because it was the content was what I knew they would like. So I immediately made a referral, and one of those 3 people watched it. And they said, oh, yeah, that really was great. So anyway, just kind of explain
Exactly.
the power
Yeah.
of that referral. Somebody online got me, I got somebody else, and that's how
Mhm.
your business becomes a millionaire. But second would be testimonials. And
Yeah.
I would say maybe testimonials second, if somebody can go on camera. That's powerful. And the
Oh,
next would
yes,
be
definitely.
reviews.
The word ones are kind of like, did they make them up? I don't know. But yeah, the video ones do well.
That's
Yeah.
right. Especially if it's not if it seems very from the heart, if somebody,
Mhm.
because there are people that get paid to do that too. I'm on Upwork a lot, and
Oh,
I've bought a lot of great talent from Upwork, some really great people, and there are people on there that, yeah, I'll do a video testimonial for your business. It's like, whoa, no, I don't want to build my
no, be
business that way.
truthful.
That's right.
Make sure
That's
they're real
right.
customers, and you'll get those. You will.
And
So,
you offer another service called text to pay. Can you explain what that is and what the advantages of a business
well, yeah.
doing that?
Let's back up and look at the
Sure.
high level, if you will.
Yeah.
Nice segue, right? No, the software I use, being a business owner for over 30 years and being an IT guy, I'm still an IT guy. I've probably touched, I don't know, millions of pieces of software. Let's not say that. A lot, as I love software, and finally finding this software. It's a company from called Go High Level, and what they allow you to do is to white label their software. So they've got 1,000 employees. Only 40 of them are in marketing, from what I heard.
Oh, wow.
So they've got a bunch of development going on. So this is something that either as a small business owner, you can, get their software either through a white label reseller like myself, or from them directly, or you can be an agency owner and then sell the software and help your customers do that. And so that's where I come from. And so
Yep.
one of those things is, text to pay. And so you have a mobile app that comes with it, and you can actually do the texting. You set up the back end through your Stripe and all that stuff. I don't want to go too techy. And then, yeah, you can do that through texting. So I've actually never done a sale through that yet, but I know it's there, and it's pretty cool because, there's a lot of different ways to take payments and stuff. So,
Now, one thing though that I've seen just in the white label
yeah,
products and services that I've looked at, the margins are pretty tight. So you have to, like with most things that are completely produced or manufactured by someone else,
that's hard.
you have to push volume. Is that
No, that
assumption
is
correct?
not the case in this.
Oh,
Like I said,
wow.
it depends on if you're coming in as I just need to use the software, or hey, I want to make this a business. So let's talk about coming in at the business side.
Hmm.
So high level lets you pay. There's 3 different ones: one account or several accounts, or you can go into one that lets you set it up and almost forget it. It'll just auto run. But I like to have the hands-on one. So you pay one fee to go high level, and then you go in and you change your brand and everything. And so if you go to my easy Biz Tech, not trying to push people there, but just if you want to see it,
Sure.
It's running it's running me. It's me. It's my domain. It's my everything. And so instead of hiding that, though, we say we partner with Go High Level. And so you don't want to feel like, well, it's all me. I'm super smart. Ted built this software. I did not, but they have one price, and you can host as many sub accounts as you want. So and it's not necessarily cheap, but for the one per month fee, I can host 1,000, 2,000, or whatever, and then you just manage each of those in your interface. And so, no, as far as having once you get going, and I'm just kind of getting rolling with it, it's pretty quick to build up that, because you aren't having to pay, oh, I've got to give them half of every single account I get. And so that's a very unique feature to them that I haven't seen in a lot of other white label software. So,
And we used Go High Level very briefly when we first opened the mastermind group,
yeah.
which I keep forgetting. We do the podcast, but the podcast is actually associated with a private group of entrepreneurs that meet on a monthly basis. So we initially got Go High Level primarily because with Go High Level with people like me kind of in the information part of the business.
Mm-hmm.
Go High Level, if we wanted to, we could sell courses,
Yeah.
things related to the podcast. We could do free giveaways to kind of get people in to give us their emails and different things like that. But, and this is relevant to your background and experience, for I think 2 months, we integrated Go High Level with our website for the sole purpose of being able to run ClickFunnels. Can
Oh,
you
okay.
walk us through a little bit about that? Because I don't think we've ever talked much about
You mean like the
ClickFunnels.
sales funnel? You want to run a sales funnel? Is that?
Yes. Well, we
Yeah.
couldn't use Russell Brunson's ClickFunnels, which his ClickFunnel was really just an automated online sales funnel,
Yeah.
but we couldn't use the ClickFunnels account unless we were Go High Level. So we had to integrate those two. And of course, I paid
Really?
somebody else to handle all that because I'm not, I mean, I can handle some tech stuff, but yeah, that was out. I looked at the back end of it and I said, oh no, I'll call somebody.
Yeah.
I said,
Well,
no.
that's why I broke away I started out in ClickFunnels and looked at it, found Go High Level. I'm like, well, ClickFunnels is building there, and they're got their thing and they're doing that, but the whole sales funnel is built right into Go High Level. So,
And I
excuse me.
think the reason why we had to integrate is because we didn't know what kind of services we were going to need to offer. So I think that was the
Gotcha.
Go High Level component. But ultimately, the ClickFunnels was tied into our marketing through Meta.
Okay.
So I would say, quite honestly, the ClickFunnels didn't cost that much. The Go High Level was very affordable. The
Yeah.
Meta marketing, that's its own video that I'm not ready to talk about what we spent and what happened, but
Yeah.
I'll talk about that later. But Go High Level seemed very good and ClickFunnels seemed very good. So
Yeah. And so it's hard to explain all the Go High Level things, but the point of what you want to do is you want to capture that lead, however you do it, and you want to respond to them, get the sale, and then do the referral and thing. And so I just saw all the things that a small business could need all wrapped up into one. There's the reviews. I mean, if you got to get your reviews on there, and then be able to just communicate with your customers. How's that through text? How's that through email? That's in there. And then responding to them, and then taking the payment. You want to be able to do that with your Stripe. You can do that, through the website, through a funnel. You want to talk about sales funnels a little bit and what that was. You can build a funnel. You can build a class. Build a membership site. They're trying to take on School. If you've heard of School,
that's
that's a
right. Yeah.
very popular one. And so, and then, yeah, and so there's just like 900 features. There's the top five.
Well, what about lead capture? Because of course,
Yeah,
people, when we talk about the sales funnel, of course,
sure.
we call it a funnel because it's big on one end because that's where your prospects, you do your marketing, your advertising,
Yeah,
and you bring people through this process. So the
sure.
sales funnel is really just a great way to visualize how the sales go through. So you have this wide open end that you put the prospects in, and then
Yep,
hopefully as they go through that funnel, they convert into
exactly.
a customer at some point.
Yeah, and I
And
can
then,
talk about that a little bit.
yeah, go
Use
ahead,
sales
please.
funnel and kind of the way, yeah, you want to what I've learned from some other people, speed to lead, there's different ways, but the sales funnel, essentially, if you think of it, is a website with nothing for them to do other than to consume to take action. They read, and they take action, or they don't. That's essentially what a funnel is. And so you're pushing them down. There might be an upsell or a downsell. Maybe you're selling a larger high ticket item. They're not interested. We'll get them into a lower ticket item. But the point is to capture that lead. That's one of the huge things in Go High Level that I really thought. I mean, I was not building my list of clients. It was not. And every touch point in Go High Level is you're grabbing that lead. And so what I want to talk about is like the speed to lead. And so I think it's like 60% of small business phone calls don't get answered. And heard that. And so how many times do you get on there and like, my sink is clogged, I need a plumber. You call the plumber, first one doesn't answer, leave a message. I'm like, okay, next one. Maybe they even got good reviews, but are they responding to their lead quickly? And so there's different things, not trying to push the Go High Level. It can be however you do it, whether you just manually respond to them quickly, whether it's an email form. I prefer the web chat form now. And so if you look at either my music page or the Easy Biz Tech, there's a little web chat down there. And when they put in their information and they have to put their phone number in there, I make that a requirement. I figure if they really want to communicate, they want to be communicated back. They don't just want to like, oh, I'm just going to send a message and not hear from anything. But put that in there, boom, that goes right into a CRM, which CRM is Customer Relationship Manager. Is that what you call it?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So that's the whole basis, is capture that information, and then how do you nurture with them? So at least with the Go High Level, if I have it set up, if you call my business number, which is a number you purchase, if I don't answer, it actually sends them a text back automatically. It says, hey, sorry, we missed your call. How can we help? And then if they were to respond, hey, my sink's clogged, you'll get that on your mobile app and be able to go, oh, sink's clogged. Yeah, I can handle that. They may have been working on the sink at the time and couldn't get that call, but at least they're taking action on that. And you can use AI with that. I just implemented that on my music side, and interesting enough, it magically worked yesterday morning. Somebody reached out to me and said, hey, my daughter's got getting engaged and we want to have music at our event. And the AI turned around and said, well, congratulations on your daughter's engagement. Let me check my calendar and see what we have available.
Wow.
I said, great.
Love it.
And there's more to this one. And so I'm like, oh, shoot, somebody responded to AI. And so I happen to not be available. But here's the interesting pivot. I reached out to him. We had a nice conversation. And I said, hey, by the way, I see, you have a business. You need any help with your business or anything? And my significant other says, you're so weird sometimes. I'm like, yeah, but I got the entrepreneurial fire. I can't help it. He said, oh, he goes, yes, always. He goes, yeah, we could totally use some help. So we're going to meet in a couple of weeks and we're going to look at, but what was the point of that? Why did he immediately just say, because he trusted me, right? We'd made a connection already. I couldn't help him in that connection, and I felt bad. We're going to be out of town. But I made that connection, and so immediately was that trust. He trusted me because he knew this guy, does music, and the authority maybe came from, maybe saw YouTube videos or whatever. But then it actually drove right into it. I saw that, I'm like, wow, that was an instant trust that he made with me, felt comfortable, and it pivoted right into, and so it's, getting that speed to lead, that quick, answering the emails and answering the texts either automatically or not. But that was a really big rabbit hole, but it's getting back to, talking.
And 60%, 60% of the calls not being answered, the money we're talking about that people are leaving on the table. In this economy, let's be honest, because we do talk about economics on here, and things are rough, and businesses, all the way from, things weren't that great before the pandemic. The pandemic, changed a lot of dynamics, particularly for brick and mortar owners. It was restaurant owners. Oh, wow. It was bad. So people simply cannot afford Well, I was in a restaurant yesterday in Kissimmee, really nice place. It was Dominican food. We have some great food from all, and I like to mix it up and have,
Yeah.
things that aren't usual. Beautiful place. Had a great Google rating. I look at all that up front because if I'm going to spend money, I want, it was 4.7, which is tremendous. 4.7 and 1,300 reviews. Now you can have a 4.7 and have two reviews, and those are your two cousins.
But
Yeah,
an average on that many,
yeah,
that's good
yeah.
because you're going to have haters no matter what,
That's
but
right.
out of that many, that's great. Yeah.
That's right. So there's the social proof, right? There's the trust factor. The place was beautiful on the outside, clean on the inside. The staff was friendly. The food was great. But they need your help, Ted, because it was 1:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday, and I sat in there for maybe an hour. Not a single other customer
What?
came in. It's in a busy area of Kissimmee. They had at least 7 people on payroll working. So, as an entrepreneur, I'm sitting there calculating, what is this costing? All the lights are on. They're paying
Wow.
7 people's wages, and I'm like, where are the customers? Like, I'd be sweating bullets if that was my restaurant because they have
Wow.
everything else perfect.
Well,
But
yeah, that's a good question, man. I'm like, yeah, they've got their reviews down. They've got, uh, was the food good?
it was awesome. I, I
Okay.
would I
Okay.
would I would guess that and again I'm just guessing because I do talk to I'd never talked to the manager, but I did talk to the hostess, which was also kind of served as the waitress, and she was very well versed in what was going on. The only missing piece of that puzzle is they're just not doing enough marketing. If you've got everything else right and you don't have people, that's marketing. So
True.
I
True.
would,
Getting
I'm
the
not,
word out.
and I'm sure they're
Yeah.
not going to tell a random customer, but if I had the ability to ask, I would have said, what did you spend last month on marketing? Because what I saw during the housing crisis, because I was trying my hand, I was working as in a marketing position, but I was also doing some moonlighting,
Yeah.
trying to help some businesses. But that was during the housing crisis, let's say 2007, 2008. And what I saw people doing is that their businesses were slowing down, so they cut their advertising and marketing budget. And I said, you're saving money, and they were like, I have to pay payroll. I said, yeah, but 3 months from now,
You're
when your
not going to
phone
have any
stops
any
ringing,
payroll.
yeah. And they vanished, and these
Yeah.
were some of these were personal friends. And I said, look, I'll help you for free. Just not, and they're like, I can't spend the money on the marketing. I can't justify. I
So
said,
you could
the
definitely be
marketing's the
right.
only thing. The
Yeah. So
marketing is the
is it the
only thing.
marketing? Is it the marketing with them? Or is it location? Are they in a location that isn't? You said it was busy. They just didn't have the walk-in.
It's a great
Um,
spot, easy
are
to get
they
to.
grabbing? Do they have past customer information? Do they have a list? I mean, if they have no list of customers, how are they? Rewards program. Hey, get into a rewards program. Scan a code on there, get into our rewards program, get a free dessert next time.
That's
Oh
right.
yeah, sure, I'll do that. And then you're building that up, then you can
That's right.
market out to those people. So if they're not doing that, they've got 1,000 reviews. So they at least should have had some sort of a list. So your
And
list is your list, and they can't take that away from you.
that's
You've
right.
built
And
that list. So
people think that email lists are old fashioned. It's still the number one most. I don't care whether you're trying to sell a book or a course. I would rather talk to somebody that has and I hate to say it this way, but it's the truth. I'd rather deal with somebody that has a mediocre idea that could potentially be improved a little bit and have a 10,000 person emailing list
yeah, yep,
because Facebook and Instagram and TikTok is full of tons of people that have brilliant ideas, but they have
yeah,
no audience, and
yeah,
they realize that it's going to take, in all seriousness, tens of thousands of dollars to build that trust factor that you talked about because they don't know you. Why do you
yep.
want me to give you my money? Or it's going to take years of you shooting TikTok videos. So what do you want to do? Do you want to
Yeah,
spend years on TikTok, or do you want to spend
yeah,
$30,000?
exactly. So having that list, you can do. It's yours. So
Mhm.
you might have 10,000 followers on Facebook and 1,000 on YouTube or whatever, but when those platforms change or somehow block you, you're done. You have your list, or you have to pivot to a new platform. If you have your list, then email list, I'd like to jump on top of that. I would say also start building that text list because email's good. people still read email, but if you get a text, there's a 90% chance they're going to open it.
That's right.
So
Text is getting hot again
yeah.
because
Oh, it is. So
it
I've
got
got a
abused.
couple.
And yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say it got so in marketing, as you can see, there are trends. There are even people are sending mailers again because people
Yeah.
used to just throw out mailers, but then mailers stopped, so now they're hot again. Same thing with text, like SMS marketing was overdone. It angered a lot of people, and it went way down. But now it's coming back. But email's still king. But
Yeah.
texting and sending a postcard. But you're right. That restaurant did not attempt to capture any of my information.
Yeah.
And Seth Godin, arguably one of the best guys to ever write about marketing, he said that you should always be able to enable your raving fans. So I had a fantastic experience. I've talked about it on here. I put it up on my Facebook. I'm already a fan of the restaurant, and I would
Yeah.
love to help them, but they don't have any technological way for me to shout from the rooftops. And I would go on video to do a testimonial for
Yeah.
them. And I've done that for other businesses because I love seeing businesses grow.
It's just have them
And
do a little show, have them do a little video of how they make the food each week and post it on. I mean, they were
that's right.
just do something. It looks like they've got the foundation there. So, but
Everything else
on
has
the
to be
text
right.
thing, I
Go ahead.
wanted to go back to that on
Mhm.
the text marketing. It was actually about a year ago. This was even before I really got into Go High Level. They put out some legislature or some kind of rules or stuff that to be able to text from software to a customer, it's actually called A2P compliance. I don't know if you've even heard of that
No,
yet.
no, educate us. Come
So
on. That's great.
inside of Go High Level or any other software, you're not allowed to text people and with software unless you go through A2P compliance, and it is a pain. Let me tell you, you've got to write out how you're going to communicate to the customer. What's the look like? You've got to have terms and service on you, but it's good. As much as it's a pain, it's good because often we don't get as much text spam anymore. I've noticed that because with it gets blocked by the carriers. And so I've actually this last week I've been going back and forth a little bit. So this is what not to do. So here's a good thing. What not to do. I had a customer, and I would call it a dirty list. So they had their customers, true customers, and they had all their phone numbers. So we just blasted a text out to their numbers, went through and found the ones that were texts, blasted them out. It was about 3,000.
Wow.
Um,
Fantastic.
and it got too many opt outs, and so it got flagged. And so then it came back, and then all of a sudden they shut down the account because it was too many opt outs, which is true because these people didn't technically opt in to the SMS. Yes, they were a customer. That doesn't necessarily mean you have the right to blast them. So you've got to be careful with that. But the A2P compliance is really a thing. You go through it, you tell what you do. You need to make sure you've got your terms of service, your privacy policies. They check that. And then on your forms, you have you've seen them all, check the box. By checking this box, I agree
Mhm.
to receive information from. That's what they want to make sure that that they have approved that they want to hear from you. And so one of the customers marketing, like she's like, why are all these people in and they're unsubscribing and all that. I said, that's a good thing. I said, if you've got a list of 3,000 and 5% unsubscribe, that's good. You want the people that are your tribe
That's
that
right.
want to hear from you, and then build the ones that want to hear from you. And if you're communicating with them, and that's your group, so that's my little rant on that. But yeah, the
No, that's
A2P
great.
has really changed things, and it's cleaned it up, and it's made it more where, hey, you've got to be compliant to be able to send text to people.
We almost forgot to include the best part. Ted created a page of dynamite information to help you grow your business. It is free and exclusive to viewers of the Free Time Mastermind podcast. The link and your passcode will be in the description. I personally found the second half of what every business needs to be the most helpful for me. The Freebies page even includes a link to other online resources, including software. One of the programs are so despised by this platform, I can't even say the name here. Go to the page, and it's the link right under the free SEO checker. Well, one thing I wanted to ask you, Ted, because this relates both to your music because I've seen it in music.
Okay.
It relates to your career as a videographer, and it also relates to what you're doing now.
Okay.
And I mentioned it a little bit with the studio. So one thing that makes me nervous is in everything, even in podcasting, there's a technological arms race that the small business owner is never going to win. You know, now
Hmm.
I could tell you got great gear. You got a Martin guitar, which those sound, fantastic. But
He
but
was looking. You knew. You saw
I
it.
was watching, yeah. But yeah, they make a great, the great products.
Yeah.
But of course, too, in the videography, you said at the end you were in a 3 camera setup, and then next thing you know, you've got the wire where the camera goes along the top, and it so you continuously have to have a tech arms race where you're spending more and more and more just to stay competitive.
Yeah.
How do people leverage this technology without having so much overhead through the technology that they can't make a profit?
Well, I mean, I can always plug myself and say, first partner with somebody that that understands the tech and can help you solve your problems. That's first of all. But there's so much software out there. It's hard to decide what to do. I mean, everybody's trying to sell you software, things like that. So, if it's me or it's somebody else, partner with a friend, somebody that maybe is a techie or something like that. But the technologically stuff aside, we can figure out what to do with the technical stuff. But are you doing the business basics? Are you doing those things? Even if it's like all I can do is here's my phone number on my website, and somebody texts you and you text them back quickly. You're doing those basic business things and not getting caught up in the technology. Yeah, we can make automation and AI and all that stuff do all that. But if you're not doing the basics of business, that's what's going to help you grow is people, do they know you? Whether maybe just post a little bit on Facebook, post a little bit on YouTube, just be consistent with doing something and take imperfect action. That was something I learned the other day. It's like, oh, it's got to be just perfect before you do it out there. No, just start taking those little action steps. Maybe post every week for a year. Maybe post every day for 30 days and talk about your business. And just be doing something and moving the needle, whatever that looks like. It doesn't have to be crazy technology, but are you communicating with your customers? Are you responding to them? And then are they referring you to other friends? Right?
Well, we've probably all been in a creek bed at one time and seen a rock with a hole through it, and
Yeah.
and of course that took an incredible amount of time. And there's a
Yeah.
there's a phrase in I believe in Zen Buddhism that says the water drop hollows the rock not through its strength but through its frequency. So you
Yes.
think about that little drop boring through stone,
Slow and
and
steady. It isn't. I've learned that it's not going to happen in 3 months.
in your business, when you hit brick walls, how do you deal with that?
A lot of times in the past, I've started all these little idea businesses of different things that have just gone wayside, and I made the decision that I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to keep going. And yeah, those brick walls come, and you're like, I once, two, three times a week, I'm like, I'm done. I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm tired. It's not doing what I want it to do. But you got to think to go back to those basics. Like, are you really? I mean, did you take action this week? No, I didn't post anything. I didn't do this, and you just got to prioritize and get to those things that'll move the needle. I'm a terrible consumer of stuff. Like, oh, here's some new software. Oh, I should look at this and I should do that, and it's terrible. That I know it's slowed the journey down for me. It's like, here's the focus. Here's what you need to do. It's boring. It's whatever, but it moves the needle. That's the thing. And so I've got a Facebook group called Small Business Rock Stars. Kind of started that going, and like, hey, we're just a variety of people in there. It's not a go high level thing. I've got a musician and somebody that sells oils, I think, or different things, and we're just going to kind of build and try to help each other. So uh, and so just moving that needle, I think, with the boring stuff, but keep going.
Before we started shooting, and we'll end on this point,
Sure.
in the marketing, we see a lot of people making errors where they focus their marketing on the features instead of the
Yeah.
benefits. And you had some great wisdom to share on that.
Yes. Well, being the techie that I am, I would say I'm a techie guy. I'm not a sales guy, but I realized that just in the last, I really kind of am a sales guy because I enjoy talking to people, and really, I truly want to help people. I'm not there as like, I just want your money, so this is what you need to do so I can take your money. Oh no, I was in network marketing, MLM stuff for a while. Oh no, that just gives me the heebie-jeebies. The thing you say is sell the hole, not the drill. So what is the problem you want to figure out? What is the problem? I don't have enough customers, or nobody's coming in the door, or hey, I am responding back to people, but they're not buying from me. Well, what's your sales process? You need to work on selling, fixing the problem. What is their problem? Not like, hey, you need my software because it can send automatic emails and it can do AI, and it can do this and it can do this. There's not a lot of people that are really interested in that. I would go, oh, really cool. Most people will be, I don't know what that is and I don't want it. But hey, here's one thing I want to just read to you. This is a little funny thing I wrote. So speak directly to your avatar. You want to say what an avatar is?
Sure, yeah. An avatar is what we would call your perfect customer.
Yes.
It might be, for the podcast, people always talk about our demographic. Some of it is a crossover of YouTube's demographic. So let's just say generally males 25 to 45 years old who are, wanting either current entrepreneurs or want to be entrepreneurs. So an avatar is just that. And an avatar, of course, is highly specific. It would be, a 37-and-a-half-year-old
Oh,
male
I've got it
in the
right here.
Midwest. Yeah, go
That's what I
ahead.
wanted to read to you. So here we
Yeah,
go.
good.
So this would be what we call like a hook. We were going to talk about a little bit hook story offer, but this is just, I said, are you a 42-year-old woman who wants to catch 20 salmon in the Colorado River in the next 14 days? Then you need the Salmon 3000. So you're targeting that specific person. It's a woman, 42 years old specifically, who wants to catch 20 salmon in the Colorado River in the next 14 days. Obviously, that
That's
may not
perfect.
exist, that person, but and it is
Well,
kind of a funny thing. It's like you're calling out to your avatar.
that's right. Well, you had me at fishing because that's my, you know,
It's
there
funny. I'm not a fisherman, so that doesn't, resonate
there
with me.
there are people at work that'll say, "Don't talk to Robert about fishing. Don't bring it up." That's
But what
just
was
one.
the problem in that one? It was like, oh, I'm a 42-year-old person. I love fishing in the Colorado
That's
River, and I
right.
haven't caught a salmon in weeks. I should buy the Salmon 3000. So
That's right.
you're
Instead of,
calling out the avatar, you're calling out their problem, and you're giving them solution. Either buy that or hey, check out our free ebook on how to fish for salmon in the Colorado River.
but
Whatever that is.
versus a features laden marketing, which might be, we have a titanium eyelet 10-foot graphite rod that has maximum flexibility for catching the fish of your dreams. And so when you look at the stats for a car, or I recently replaced the computer that this system is going through, and the the one thing that I saw in the ad for this one that made me pull the trigger is it talked about, because I do some of my own audio editing, and
Okay.
the laptop I was running through, it was at the limits of its capability, and it said I got a unit with a lot of RAM, and it says if you're doing audio editing, you'll be able to seamlessly, and that was the problem I was trying to solve. Click buy, boom, and I got it.
Yep.
So I wasn't necessarily looking at, it's got a SSD drive and 1 terabyte, and it runs at 22 nanosecond. I had a problem, and that one line that said it could solve it, that was it. I mean, I did look at the other stuff.
Yeah.
So it's okay to have the features in your marketing, but if you only have a second, talk about those
How
benefits.
do you stop the scroll, right?
Everybody's seeking transformation, right? Do you want to lose 10 pounds? Do you want to gain 10 pounds of muscle in the next 6 weeks? Do you want to, and then they go through that. And I think it's much more powerful because people have so much demand on their eyes and their time. You have to get in
You
and
got to
say, I'm
break down
delivering the
what that
solution for
is.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how can people find you, Ted?
Oh, there's a variety of ways. If you want some music for your next live event, no, we're not gonna. Gaunt.com is my music stuff. I use that as kind of the playground. So to play around with some of these marketing things and doing my SEO and some of that kind of stuff. But for the business, if you have questions about anything, you can just reach out to me. It's info@easybiztech.com. I think it'll be down in the, I assume
Yes.
down below in there.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
so easybiztech.com. It's got a lot. It might have a lot of features on it, so don't be overwhelmed with it. I've got to do a little work on that, but it's there. And so, yeah, just reach out to me. If you found something you have a question about, like, oh, he spoke about that thing, what did you mean? I'd be happy to talk to people about that. So obviously, I enjoy talking. Right?
It was time well spent, Ted. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate the time as well.
Thank you for joining us on the Free Time Mastermind podcast. I'm your host, Robert Gaines. To support the channel, please click like, comment, subscribe, and share this episode. The book Scintilla, the ultimate guide to generating business ideas, products, and services, is now available on Amazon. It's available as an ebook, softcover, and hardcover. Please find the link to the Amazon page in the description, as well as other links relevant to this episode.